Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Tampa Bay Real Producers Podcast. This, of course, is the podcast that is made for real producers, by real producers, and with none other than Tampa Bay's Real Producers, also powered by Top Producers Nation. And today we get to hang out with Emma Pardo from Compass. How you doing, Emma?
Hey, I'm doing great.
It's good to have you here on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you might be familiar a little bit with Emma from a feature in the Tampa Bay Real Producers magazine that we did. I actually don't remember what month it was, but I guess 4 or 5 months ago,
April? I think it was April.
April of this year of 2023. We featured Emma and her team as a team spotlight into the with her Compass background. So we'll dive into that a little bit for sure. But why don't we start for people who might not know much about your story, just in terms of I know we were talking off camera that you grew up, I think, up in New York area, right?
Yep.
Saratoga
Springs.
for sure. So
Known for the horses.
grew up there. Loved a gal who loves horses. What a concept, huh?
Horse racing. Can't say I've been on a horse in probably 30 years. So
You should just go to the track and enjoy the whole scenery, huh?
yeah, exactly.
The summertime up there is a wild scene, though. I know that
It is so
the
much
people
fun.
flock up there for sure. You used to work at the track, you said?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I sold ice cream at the track.
Of course.
That was my high school job. And then after college, I went into the communications department for the racetrack for New York Racing Associate.
Was that your major at
Association.
school, communications?
Communications, yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
And so that was cool. I got to actually get behind the scenes at the track and interview jockeys and
Yeah,
it
I
was
could
fun.
see that. So what brought you to Florida? How'd you get yourself down here?
Before real estate, I worked in the TV news industry
Okay.
as a producer. And I worked, so I did that for 8 years. I worked in the Albany, New York market.
Sure.
And then my contract came up there and I was like, I need a change. It was my hometown.
Yeah.
So I knew I wanted a change.
You had an itch to travel,
I
huh?
had an itch just to get out of, experience a new place. So I was applying for jobs all over the country, California, South Carolina, New York City. I interviewed in many different markets, and Tampa was just the one that scooped me up. So Tampa found me, actually.
Picked you up.
WFLA. I
Okay.
worked at the NBC station here.
Cool. So that was what drew you to Tampa. That makes sense.
Yep.
And did you dive right in and fell in love with that career, or decided, this isn't for me, it's time to look at something
Not
else?
for me. It was awesome. I mean, oh my gosh, great people, really cool industry
Yeah.
to be in. It was fun until it wasn't, because I was working at 3:00 in the morning. So now it's not
Schedule
so fun.
seems a little rough.
Yeah, rough schedule.
Like what type of
But-
stories were you doing, or what type of media were you reporting
So
on?
I was writing web stories, web content,
Okay.
online content, social media content, and then web content.
Okay.
Yep.
And you were working
All
from
digital.
home, I take it, most of the time, or
No, in the studio.
at 3 a.m.?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a crazy
It was
schedule.
All hands on deck. Yeah. No remote work in that industry.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a lot of writing, but it was fun. I mean, I came from a communications background. I mean, I kind of grew up in the social media era. Like
Sure.
Facebook came out when I was in college, and then Instagram came out, and so I was fun at getting to be in that space, because in Albany, New York, they didn't even have a website when I started at that station.
Yeah.
And so it was fun. I mean, it was fun kind of being in that transformative years of news. How people get their news is
Sure.
digitally now.
Of course.
Not many people watch news on TV anymore. So
How long did you
That's
do
fun.
it for here in Tampa?
3 years. Yeah. So that's what got me here. And
Was it just the hours that were like, all right, I need to find something else?
I have always had the entrepreneurial bug. So I knew I wanted to, work hard and kind of be my own boss,
Okay.
essentially. And so that's what led me into real estate.
What was it like? Was anybody in your family in real estate, or what was it specifically about real estate that drew you in? Because obviously you
that's
could
a
be
good
you could be an
question.
entrepreneur in a lot of different ways, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good question. I think it was, I moved probably once a year, every year for like 10 years in a row. And so I was just I was getting into a lot of different spaces, and I've always was interested in the HGTV shows and those kind of like, oh, I wonder what that would be like.
Yeah,
to
my wife
actually
watches those a lot too.
show people the spaces and be able to sell the space. So it's sort of it was just one thing led to another. It's like, I think I'm going to get my real estate license, give it a shot. I overlapped news and real estate for about a year.
Okay.
So I was doing both, and I was like, I think I could do something of this. This is actually kind of fun.
Nice. Did you know anybody in the industry that like got you into it?
Nope. Nope.
Here. So who did you end up working with in terms of getting a license initially and all that, or did you just kind of like cold just went into it and knew nobody?
Went into it. Mm-hmm. I didn't know a single person moving to Tampa. I did not know anybody in this city.
So it wasn't like you were tapping into a warm market.
No, I wasn't. I didn't know anybody. It was funny. I started my career with Berkshire Hathaway, and I got with them because my now husband and I were looking for a place to rent.
Yep.
And the leasing agent worked for Berkshire Hathaway. And I was like, I'm getting my real estate license. She's like,
okay.
Oh, you should come check us out. So that's how that happened.
Okay.
Then I met with the broker over there, and it was great. I was with them for 5 years.
And so I think you mentioned that your first year getting licensed was 2016.
Yep.
Right.
Got licensed in 2016.
And what was that first year like for you? Were you able to kind of get some immediate success? Did it take a while to learn get your way? It was challenging that first year for you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't know anybody here.
Sure.
I was starting to meet people just through, going out. I'm social.
Sure.
I'm a very social person. Meeting people through my work at the news station, meeting people just by going out and about in South Tampa. South Tampa is like
it's a hub.
Small town in a big city. Yeah.
No doubt.
So
you can get a network quick there.
You can network quick.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was great. And it's a very welcoming place, Tampa. I feel like a lot of us are from somewhere else. So we all know what it's like to be the new person in town. So people are really welcoming in Tampa. But
how'd you get your first deal? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was a referral from another more experienced agent in the office.
Okay.
It's like, hey, you want this? Like,
cool.
Yeah, $100,000 condo deal. Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
I don't want to touch it, so here you go.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, absolutely. I'll take whoever. It was all just a bunch of learning. Like,
sure.
Your first couple years in real estate is you're just learning the industry. You're learning the contracts. You're learning the area. You're learning about mortgages. I mean, I had never even bought a house myself, so
what to do, what not to do.
Yeah.
When do you feel like you kind of had a breakthrough? Is there a certain year or moment where you feel like, all right, now I kind of understand this business? Maybe there's even a specific strategy that really became like your thing that you feel like has worked well for you in building your clientele. Emma, if you don't know, has broken over 20 million in volume in a year. She did over 17 million in volume last year. So obviously that's why she was featured in Tampa Bay Real Producers and has built a successful business over the years. But can you pinpoint like a specific moment or even a strategy or something that kind of helped you turn the corner?
It was really leaning on mentors in the office that I had to kind of learn from their experience too. But it was 3 or 4 years in that I finally felt confident enough to speak about different options, like do showings, do listings, be able to speak to clients confidently about options and their best needs. So
where you felt like you took more of like a consulting approach rather than just kind of letting the seller or buyer kind of dictate that path, right? I think there is a distinction there. A lot of the top producers that I interview talk a lot about how to position yourself as a consultant.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think most new agents probably struggle with that just because they're not as confident and they're still learning themselves. So it's hard to be a true consultant when you're just kind of like, I'm going to help you find a house, but you got to tell me what you want, And
it takes years to be able to, you need experience in order to consult, right?
For sure.
So yeah, It's not I think the perception is real estate is an easy industry to break into.
Yeah.
Absolutely not the case. I mean, it takes years and patience and
At least to get good at it.
at least, yeah, to get
A lot of
good
people do
at
get
it
licenses and don't do much
Correct.
with it. We know that's true.
Yep.
That's obviously not what we constitute as a real producer does.
Right.
But to get good at it and to build some success, which you have, that's obviously a different level of commitment.
It is. It's time. It takes a lot of time and studying and constantly learning.
Yeah.
So I can't really pinpoint a moment that was like a breakthrough. I got it, but there was,
Well, it evolved
it was
over
evolved.
time.
Yeah, over. And I remember feeling like probably 3 or even 4 years in, like, wow, okay, this is a career now.
You build some confidence in it.
I think I can do this.
You mentioned the importance of like having the mentors in your office and where that led to, and you are with Compass now.
Mm-hmm.
When did you join Compass again?
3 years ago, 2021, July 2021.
Okay, and that was also, I think, a big breakthrough for you too. That was one of your best years,
Yep.
wasn't it?
Yep.
In that season. So, were there people that you knew who went to Compass as well, and that was intriguing to you, or were there other factors?
There were some. Compass is relatively new in the Tampa market, and there were a few agents I knew by name, not personally. We were one of the first. Well, yeah, Compass has grown a lot since we've joined in the last 3 years. So we were one of the first. I did chat with a couple agents I knew who had gone to Compass. But it was just, looking for a change. Compass has an amazing platform for agents to use. So not here to sell my brokerage, but if anyone's looking to join, let me know. I'm happy to chat more about it.
They're taking applications.
Yeah, they're taking. And it was really appealing to be in a brokerage with these agents I knew by name, but had done so much success in the market. I was looking to, I truly believe that in order to grow, you need to be around people more successful than you.
For sure.
And
Tony Robbins preaches proximity is power is one of his messages.
I love that.
It's a big truth about your network is going to really dictate where you're going to go.
Yeah, you're the sum of the people you spend your time with. And I think I was looking to be around people that like blew my volume out of the water. And so, and there's many, many of them. And so Compass did a great job bringing over some amazing talent and really impressive people who have been in this industry for decades. And I wanted to be around them.
Sure.
And so that was for me, that was one of the reasons for joining Compass. Not to mention the platform that they have is super easy to use. Like,
that's helpful.
It's very helpful.
Some are complicated.
Yeah, it saves time as in my business, and I'm very process driven, and they've kind of perfected that process for us to use. So,
if you had to think back to your first couple of years again, is there anything you would have done differently to get off to a faster start?
Yeah, I would have joined a team. I was a solo agent, like swimming it by myself. And yes, I had mentors in the office, but they were doing, they're doing their own business too. I would have joined a team. That would have been I think the number one thing I would have changed, because, Did
you ever join a team?
I am a team leader now.
Right, now you built your own.
No, I was. I built my own, but never did join a team.
Okay.
And that's sort of what I tell, agents on my team or new agents. Like the first thing you want to do is learn from team leads.
Yeah, it makes sense. I can see how it would shorten the learning curve. And it's one thing just to have a mentor in your office that you look up to and hopefully, is willing to give you some goods. But it's another thing if they're also benefiting from your energy, because then they're going to dive into you that much more, right? From a team leader perspective. So I can see that, and that's a common. I would say that's a common trait with a lot of the people who get off to fast starts is being able to lean on the success of a group, right, and the team.
Yeah. It's a different business model, as well. So being a solo agent is very different than being on a team. It's sort of where do you want to take your business? Yeah. So I think being
what made you want to grow your own team?
Because of my experience as a solo agent in the beginning, I was like, if I could tell any new agent one thing, it's like, come join me. Let me
help you.
Yeah, I help you, you help me, kind of thing. So, but yeah, joining my own team also was to scale. Once you get busy enough. It's really great to have help of people that you trust and like. And my team's like a family.
What's your team made up of now? What's it look like?
There's 5 of us.
Okay.
Yep. And
is that like including administrative help, or is that just agents?
We actually don't have administrative help.
Okay.
Or we're
Compass
all
has
just
a lot of
agents.
that in-house.
Yes, Compass has a lot of that in-house. Yeah.
Makes sense. So you have 5 agents listing and buying. Okay.
Yep. Everyone runs their own business on my team. We're all just there to support each other and
Are
hold
you
each
still
other
in production
accountable.
yourself, Emma?
Say it again.
Are you still in production yourself?
Oh yeah.
You are.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
'Cause some people do that differently as well, right?
That's a different business
I know
model.
brokers, even some brokers still stay in production while some don't, right?
Yep.
But even from a team leader perspective, I've seen some team leaders that really try to step out of production and focus on that team support building. And it's just a different animal, right?
It is. And
there's the mentality of leading by example and
Yeah.
going out and showing them by actually producing and hopefully outproducing everybody on your team and showing them how it's done. There's a lot of power in that as well.
I love that. For me, I love my clients. I love my people. So
Yeah.
I don't want to toss them off. I want to work with them. So
Where do you get
I'm
most of
lucky.
your business?
Right now, at this point in my career, the last 2-3 years have been past clients, referrals from past clients, and networking. I do a lot of networking. It's people that are friends, people that I already know or can refer me because they know me personally.
So very organic, it sounds like.
Yeah, I don't do cold leads.
Has it always been that way, or did you have other strategies in
Yeah.
the earlier days?
No, it's always been this way.
Okay.
I'm a big
So you took the patient
proponent
route,
of
built the organic, which is
Yeah.
why it evolved the way it did.
Yeah,
It makes sense.
I'm a big proponent of work with your sphere, work with your people that know you. I think that takes a lot of, a lot of what some agents struggle with is building the trust with clients, and if you getting cold leads, that's one way, and I know people are very successful with that, but to me that's just a lot more work and a lot more money out of pocket, right?
Totally.
I want to work with people that know me and I know them, and I'm really, really lucky that it's worked out that way, because I know sometimes it doesn't always, but a lot of my business right now is past clients. I mean, I just closed a deal with a client that was our 10th deal together.
Nice.
I
Wow.
bought and sold with her on 5 different
She an
homes.
investor, or just she move a lot?
She does. Yeah, she does. She's sort of an investor, but also lives in the home. So
Okay.
it's a little bit of both. She has her own. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, she's come back to me now. That was our 10th deal together.
Yeah.
And so
Well, that's
I'm like,
awesome.
We know each other, right?
Yeah.
We're friends.
Those are the clients that you want, right? Is the ones that are going to stay loyal
Yep.
Over that period of time. And not everybody has the patience, I think, to be able to build their business completely organically. And some people don't have the timeline. Like for some people who really, I need to earn X by Y. Sometimes it's hard to get those numbers if you're 100% organic, because it's usually a slower growth, right? It's a slower process.
And it's scary in the beginning when
Yeah.
you're broke.
Yeah.
And you're not sure when that closing is going to happen or if it's going to happen. I mean, deals fall through all the time in
Totally.
this business. And when I started, I was broke.
Yeah.
I think if this wasn't in the article, it might have been in my article in the magazine, but I tell the story, there was a time I hadn't closed any deals yet. I got my real estate license and was living literally paycheck to paycheck, and needed to get to a showing. And I scraped up quarters from my apartment to put gas in my car to get to that appointment.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how broke I was. I was like, I have money in the bank, but it needs to go towards rent and bills, and
Totally.
I need to get to this place for showings. And luckily, and people ask, did you sell that house? I was like, yes, I did actually. I did sell that house, so it was worth scraping
That's
up
awesome.
the quarters to put gas in my car.
Yeah, but I
And
mean, it's
luckily,
cool
I
to
mean,
hear
yeah.
the struggles too, right? We learn a
Yeah.
lot from those moments, and a lot of people aren't vulnerable enough to even share when they go through those harder times, because it's everyone from the outside thinks, oh, it's so luxurious to be a real estate agent,
Isn't
and
it? On Netflix it is, yeah.
exactly, especially on all the shows, the
Yep.
HGTV shows and whatnot.
Exactly, yep.
But
And
the ones who
Selling
really make it,
Sunset
it's common to go through those moments. And
yeah.
it's not unusual to hear that. So you're not the first, and you're definitely not going to be the last to is willing to have the enough grit and intestinal fortitude to actually make it through those type of moments. So it speaks
you're
a lot.
building a business and it has to start from somewhere.
Totally.
So it's hard. And there's no secret. I mean, I know it's a little cliche. There's no secret to success, but I really find that to be true. I mean, there's no secret. The secret is pretty obvious. It's just hard work and time and patience and doing the right thing and, being...
There's a great book out there. It's actually titled Grit, Grit, and it's just all about the power of resilience. And, it goes through all these examples of like anything that you tend to be successful in business specifically, is just not plausible without moments of grit that's required, right, in the process. And it's something that we all know, I think. We hear it all the time, but it's one thing to actually like know it, and then another thing to actually live it and then show it when the moment arises, right? Because most people run from that.
Yeah, and because when you're in the moment, you can't picture yourself out of that moment almost, right? And how it evolves, I look back and I'm like, wow, that kind of went by fast. I mean, but when you're in the moment and living it, it's scary.
Yeah, it's an powerful thing to tell yourself that this is temporary, right?
That's so true.
Understanding that you're doing this for a reason. There is a purpose behind it. Sometimes it's hard to see where it's going.
Right.
But if you can sell yourself, and you really do have to be a good salesperson to yourself more than anybody else sometimes, understanding, and I'm obviously speaking from experience as well in this situation, because I've been through it many times, and it still ebbs and flows. Sometimes you think, finally, I'm out of it.
Yeah.
And then things change and businesses evolve even on the downside at times. And you're like, man, how the hell did I find myself right back into this moment again, So it is always a journey, but there's a certain mindset that I think is really critical for successful people. And I would define that as resilience and grit. It's a trait that top people tend to have.
That's been key mindset. I can't stress that enough about a positive mindset and almost fake it till you make it mentality, right? Like tell yourself if you tell yourself you're successful, you will be successful. You have to envision what it's like already, even though you're not there. And I'm big on affirmations. My team will tell you, like, I'm big on affirmations. I'm big on that mindset.
Do you guys do them together as a team? Rally around the office?
We should. That's a really good, that would be a really good exercise.
Yeah. There's a book too on that too. Have you ever heard of Jack Canfield? He used to write the Chicken Soup for the Soul series.
Yeah.
So he's really big on the affirmations thing. And he wrote a book years ago called The Success Principles. And one of them is about affirmations.
I need to get that one.
Yeah. It's a great book for a team, actually. So I do highly recommend it. There's a lot of cool, practical applications that you can take from it.
Yeah. And I know sometimes when you get there's also one thing of real estate is you're working in your business versus on your business.
Right.
And so when you're so busy working in your business, sometimes that mindset, like working on your mindset, can be pushed aside. So it's important to just keep that, remember to always do your mindset work. However that looks for people. Like for me, it's affirmations and, positive thinking and, and yoga.
That's good too. Your health, physical health.
Yeah.
For me, I found that the morning routine.
Yep.
Is critical.
A morning routine.
Having something that is, I know for me that's been something I've developed over the years is having a morning routine that I can set my day off with a certain way. And there's a great, a friend of mine actually, Hal Elrod, wrote a book called The Miracle Morning.
Oh, I've read that multiple times.
Okay. He used to sell Cutco cutlery with me.
Really?
Back
No
in the
way.
day. Yeah, we were Cutco colleagues back in the day.
Yep.
And
Miracle
so
Morning.
in that book, he talks about the SAVERS principles, right? SAVERS acronym. And I'm not going to go through the whole thing now, but that has become like a morning ritual, I would say, in my life. And it definitely is, it's huge. It creates a certain pattern and you start getting used to doing things a certain way. And a lot of it is mindset.
And I do think it's easier said than done. With, like I was saying, when you're in your business and you're checking, the first thing you do is check your email in the morning, and all of a sudden there's 3 emails of fires that you're like, oh, I
have to deal with this.
Deal with this now. And then all of a sudden the morning has passed, and you're like, shoot, I didn't get my, So easier said than done, but it is important. And I think as the years go on in your real estate career, you get more comfortable and confident, and listen, this isn't yes, this is a fire, but I need to focus on myself and do them, like you said, get your morning right. And then
big difference between what's urgent and what's important.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And
the urgency things usually aren't, they're always feeling important in the moment, but urgency usually does not move the needle as much as staying true to what those important tasks are.
It's important to remember that. And I do struggle with that because I'm I want to get things done quickly kind of person.
Sure.
But it's an important mindset is very important in this industry.
Yeah,
it'll beat you down, so you have to stay.
If you allow it,
positive.
it will. Yeah. There's the old Rocky quote, right? You got to get up and I'm going to butcher the quote, but you know what it is. Just watch the movie.
Yeah, just watch the movie.
So a couple things on a personal side for people to get to know you a little bit who might not know your full story. So you already talked a little bit about your background with New York and then making your way here.
Yep.
You're married. You mentioned you have one son, daughter?
I have a daughter.
One daughter, and she's how old now?
She'll be 4 in July.
Okay, all right. So you got a 4-year-old at home. She thinks she probably runs the house by now, I would imagine.
Yep, she does. She does. Oh, she is the boss, and I am sure my parents told me she's very much like me or how I was.
I'm sure she is. Yes,
which is scary.
That makes sense. So
like,
she's going to be a future real estate agent on your hands.
Oh God, yeah. No, it's funny. She's getting into I'll be looking at homes, doing home searches for buyers. She's like, what is that house? I want to see the house.
Oh, that's cute.
And then, she's like, Mama, you're going to sell that house today. I'm like, yes, that's right.
Awesome.
See, good mindset.
So what do you guys love to do for fun? What keeps you busy when you're not working so hard?
Oh, yeah, when we're not working, we're always working. No, we're a very active family. It's funny, for being somebody that sells homes, I'm not a homebody. I'm always out and about, and my husband and my daughter are too. So we're always going to the beach, always going to, a park or out to dinner, meeting up with friends.
Just enjoying the Tampa Bay nightlife, huh?
Day life.
Dinner life, day life, yes.
Day life at this point.
Tough to enjoy the nightlife with a 4-year-old
Maybe
at home.
10 years ago was the nightlife, but day life. Going to the beach.
Do you live in Tampa or St. Pete?
Tampa.
You do? Okay. Mm-hmm. South Tampa?
South Tampa.
Gotcha.
Yep. Yeah, so we like to travel. We're going to Colombia in a couple of weeks.
Nice.
Yeah, so.
I love it there. I've been there once.
Yes,
2 weeks. Mm-hmm. What area of Colombia?
We're going to Cartagena.
Okay. Do you have any connection down there? Or?
My husband's Colombian.
Oh, that's a connection.
He's from Bogota, but yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, but it's a really
So is he in real estate too?
He is a business broker.
Okay.
He has his license, but he doesn't sell real estate per se.
But he sells businesses. Oh, that's cool. Mm-hmm. I'd like to talk to him actually because I'm interested in that space.
Oh, you should.
Yeah.
You should.
About not necessarily becoming a broker, but specifically, I've been looking. We can talk off camera, but I've been looking at buying certain business types, especially in the marketing agency realm, right?
Interesting.
And trying to incorporate some of the stuff that I believe has worked principles wise and putting them into certain business models. That's so cool.
I'll connect you guys.
That would be an interesting conversation for sure.
Yeah.
I'd like to connect with them. So we're a little short on time. We got started a little bit later than I wanted to with you. Unfortunately, we'll have to have you back for another episode, but a couple rapid fire things, all right, for people to get to know you. So do you have a favorite book or book or author, or maybe even a seminar, or you could throw a podcast in there that you feel like has made an impact on you personally or professionally?
Ninja Selling.
Oh, that's a good
real
one.
estate book.
Yeah, I've read it.
Was a huge, mind blown.
That's a good one.
But I also think The Compound Effect was another book that I listened to early on in real estate that was very, very helpful. I recommend that one. I'm not going to lie. I love reality television. So I like my Bravo shows. It's like my escape from reality.
You're more about TV shows than movies?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to
Bravo
lie.
Girl, huh?
Yeah. And then podcast wise, I know I listen to the Massive Agent podcast real estate wise.
Nice.
Kind of obsessed. I'm kind of obsessed with real estate and
well, I think you have to constantly be learning, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who runs that podcast?
Dustin Brome he's in Utah.
Okay. Is that related to Compass at all or no? Cool.
No.
Yeah. Very neat.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite food?
I love food. I love food and wine. All food.
A lot of good options in Tampa Bay. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All food. That's the answer.
I honestly, I'm like, one of my hobbies is eating and drinking. So
There's plenty of options to keep you
I
busy
like working out too. But
all right. Well, here's a deep question for you. Ready? When you look back at some point, right, and you're sitting on that rocking chair at home and you're thinking back to the things that you'd want to be most remembered for, right, the type of legacy that you might want to leave, especially you can say professionally or even personally. What do you think is most important to you in terms of your legacy that you'd want to leave?
Wow, yeah, that is a deep question. I think that I would like people to know me as a hard worker and somebody that is, goes to bat for people. I also want to be known as, like, I really think of myself as, pretty understanding and relatable and, open-minded too, to many people's situations, and, trying not to be judgmental of people's situations, and, helping people through that, and, making the best decisions that they can for themselves. Sometimes, you don't know and especially real estate wise, like professionally wise, it is a very stressful process. It's a very stressful thing, buying and selling a home. And
Sure.
So I think having that, being known for somebody that, can be helpful and seeing big picture during those times is something that I would like. I hope that I can help people with.
Yeah, there's a in the Bible it talks about God gives us all specific gifts, right? And one of those gifts he talks about is for some people is the ability of being of empathy, basically. And what you just described is kind of a trait for certain people, is that ability to connect with others because they can have that empathy and they know how to be able to really just show that empathy and be empathetic in the moment that people are going through, whether that's a stressful real estate situation or anything else that they might be dealing with.
Right.
It's not a gift that I have very well, but I know it sounds like you might have been given that gift. So that's a good thing.
No. I think it's important to remember the big picture in life too. That's something I really, really try to do personally and professionally. Big picture, not letting, don't sweat the small stuff. Don't let the little things that may seem like big things at the time not bog you down or get you upset, depressed. Kind of working through those little things and keeping the big picture in mind is important, I think.
I agree.
Why you're doing. Let's get back to the why. Let's get back to the
perspective.
Why are you buying this house? Why are you making all these life decisions? What is the reason? And where do you see yourself? Once this is all done and this stressful situation is done, in 3 to 5 years from now, you will be so happy that you did what you're doing now to get to where you need to be.
Totally. That goes back to what we said earlier. That moment, that challenging moment, is temporary, right? There's a light at the end of the tunnel for a reason. So we're going to wrap up the episode with, if anybody, by the way, wants to connect with you, maybe interested in talking to you further about either working with you, being on your team, just maybe pick your brain a little bit about your journey. What's the best way for someone to reach you?
You can, on Instagram, Tampa Realtor Emma is my handle. You can text me, call me.
Cool. We'll put that up on the description.
Okay.
I do have your number.
Okay.
Yes, we can put that up there as well.
I'm an open book. I'm happy to chat about real estate, life, teams, solo agent life, whatever.
You've done both.
Getting out of the TV news industry.
Yeah, I think some people might hear this and relate to that too. So we'll put a bow on the episode, and as we do all of our episodes, we challenge the audience to do something with the content that we talked about today, to take action, right? If you don't take a step forward in some direction, maybe you have to pick up one of the book recommendations that we discussed, or you could be going through one of those challenging moments that we also discussed, and maybe it was a good reminder for you to check where you're at in your level of resilience and grit. And if you're living through that moment, hopefully reminding yourself that this is just temporary. Possibly you have to talk to Emma about the opportunity with Compass, or learning more about the teams and why she's building a team, or what mistakes she made when she was new. You could be a newer agent who's really learning a lot and feeling like you're overwhelmed. Emma might be a good resource for somebody like that. And so I would encourage you to do something, right? Take an action step so the time you invested in watching this podcast is worth it, or else you're probably just going to forget a lot of the things that we do. And that's the challenge we always give to everybody who watches us live through YouTube or Facebook, or obviously listens to any of the major podcast platforms that are out there. If you don't already subscribe, click the button so that way you'll be notified every time a new episode drops, which happens every week. Every Friday, we interview another top producer like Emma. And we look forward to seeing you, of course, on the next episode of Tampa Bay Real Producers. We'll see you then. Bye.